She's actually really good. I think just the fact that the ankle tag has come off, that she was able to go and visit some friends, to visit her granny, to go and visit her sister, and just to be able to breathe a bit and go around the city and just have a social life. After a year of an ankle tag, but also 4 years of prison, that's no small thing. So she was actually, I mean, you can see there's a big grin on her face there. There was a big grin every time we spoke to her, big grin on her mum's face and her dad's face. And yesterday she was just enjoying the fact that okay, she's out and it's moved forwards for her. As you say, there is a second court case that was handed down to her. In fact, before they took the ankle tag off, her lawyer got the telephone call and said, listen, you're going to be in court on Sunday. And the ankle tag only came off at the very end of yesterday. So the British embassy in Tehran had already issued a note verbal, like a formal warning saying, listen, it's the end of a sentence. You've not released her. I think that's what triggered it for it to come off. So there's clearly uncertainty. Potentially she's home soon. Potentially she's got another sentence and months or years even to go. We remain in this kind of structural uncertainty, and that's part of the game that's been played all along. So I think we enjoyed yesterday. She's still quite cheerful this morning, and as Sunday gets closer, then we'll start to build up the foreboding again.
So Richard, just in terms of this next court date that is now hanging over all of you, exactly what does it relate to? And I think you just said a second ago, but correct me if I'm wrong, this was the first time that you'd heard about this potential legal action was when the lawyer was spoken to just at the weekend?
Yeah, so yes and no is the short answer. It was the lawyer got called and said you're going to be in court on Sunday. It is the court action that was happening in November. It's the court action that was happening back in autumn 2017 and that got blamed at one point on the Prime Minister. And we'll see what happens in court. I don't have a clear feeling at this point whether it's more a political stunt or more like a threat to the British government to say, listen, if you don't move in the ways you need to, you can still do bad stuff. Or if substantively it really is there to put a sentence down. Her lawyer certainly said, you should prepare yourself for a conviction. But we'll see what comes.
What assistance, indeed, what information is reaching you from the people who work not a mile away from where I'm standing at the moment? We, of course, have had condemnation of the decision taken by Iranian authorities from both the Foreign Secretary and the Prime Minister. I'm wondering what other information they might be passing you through other channels.
Yeah, no, rightly. I'm pleased that they were as strong as they were in their statements, and behind closed doors, we've asked them to be, stronger for a long time. I don't think Iran it moves through warm words, but through clarity. I don't think the Foreign Office has got a clear feel for what's actually happening. They clearly talk closely at the moment with the Iranian Foreign Ministry. The Iranian Foreign Ministry is not in control of what happens in Nazanin's case because that's the Revolutionary Guard. And the judiciary, and they don't always talk in the same words. So, over the weekend, I was in reasonable touch with the Foreign Office line team. Last week, I met the Foreign Secretary actually twice to talk through what was going on, and he said to me that he felt that it was close. It was closer than it had been for a long time, but there are no guarantees. I think that's what we're seeing now. Is it's moved one step closer, and there's the threat, maybe the reality of one or two steps back.
Indeed, so often have hopes been raised that I suspect that for you and for the broader family, that you want to try and avoid that. But it must be difficult to have come to the end of that sentence and for the potential of more jail time to be coming Nazanin's way. I mean, how much of this is still to do with those historic reparations that Iran has been calling for many a year?
Well, my personal view is everything. I think that's why Nazanin was taken. I think that's why every sort of strange thing that's happened in our case can normally be linked to something that's happening with that debt. Clearly, the British government doesn't want to make the linkage, and rightly doesn't want to incentivise hostage taking. But Iran does practice hostage diplomacy. It does take people for leverage. That's openly acknowledged by the government. What that means, well, we don't get to see where the negotiations are on that debt dispute. We can only hope it gets solved sooner, so that it's not just Nazanin, but that Nazanin and others are able to come home.